Hello everyone, I'm happy to see you back on my channel. My name is Zenia Zhao and we are going to sketch a Chinese storefront with ink and watercolors today. Then move to the watercolor part and start with the first sienna with some of quinacridone rose. Also adding a little bit of yellow ochre here. And I'm starting with the roof. Adding more yellows in some spots. We're gonna add more shadows later when this lower will dry. And I'm adding a little bit of ultramarine, light color in some parts here. And there as well. I'm moving to the downstairs. I'm moving to the bottom of the roof. And I'm making it with the ultramarine and a little bit of sepia. It mixes with a nice gray color. And this is the part where the shadows are quite deep, so it needs to be dark. But we need to start with the lighter colors because when we are working like this, layer after layer, we can see if we need to add some depths, we can make it a bit later and it's gonna be okay. And here. This is the shadow part too. I'm gonna add a little bit of ultramarine in some places just to make it look like more alive. I'm going down and it's gonna be still ultramarine with some sepia and with a bit of quinacridone rose. A bit of pinkish gray. Gonna make it here. And as you can see, I made it too dark, so I'm gonna use more of water, avoiding these places where we have this fruit. And I'm gonna add a little bit here because it's gonna be a shadow part. You can add a little bit here as well. But in the other parts we need to make it lighter. I'm making this color through all of the walls. I'm gonna use more of blue colors there. With lots of water. And maybe a little bit of splashes too. As long as it's still wet. You can see the difference between the wet parts and the dry parts of the paint here. When these drops are losing their shape and mixing with the colors. And we're gonna use lots of ultramarine for these shadow parts here. I'm gonna need more of sepia. Because this part is completely dark. It's in the darkest part of the room. And we just suggested the use more of these colors. Yeah. A bit lighter, adding more of pinks. And some of yellow ochre in some parts. Lifting up a bit this paint here to make it not so dark. I'm using more ultramarine and Finalizing rose and adding this purples here and also here. And leaving the space for the bottoms and the cups. And we are moving next right here. It's a wood pulp paper, so it's drying really fast. And when our work here would be done, we're gonna add some more layers of shadows here. Now we can come back to our roof and start with the same colors. Burnt sienna and quinacridone rose. And I'm just using it in the shadow parts somewhere. In some parts, not all of them. Here and there. Just layering the stripes. Suggesting the structure, suggesting the depths. And maybe afterwards we're gonna add a little bit colder colors. We need to experiment with this. Now adding more colors here and more of yellows. Make it look brighter here as well. Not all of them, just some parts. And I'm adding more of these colors. Burnt sienna and quinacridone rose and adding some splash. Now, that is a bit of ultramarine, and I'm adding it here with these colors and mixing it to make these colors look colder and adding some depth to all the shadows. Okay. to be darker. We even need more of ultramarine. Here we go. I'm mixing some more, and I'm moving here in the shadow parts as well, and here. Now we're gonna use more of ultramarine and sepia, and with a few more layers of shadows. It's still wet, we need to wait with this, so we will move to our next object. We're gonna make some nice reds. I'm using permanent red with Pinnacle and Rose. And I'm just using it for this bright box. A bit more paint on the upper part and a bit lighter as it's going down. And I'm gonna mix some of my purples with this red to make this kind of not so bright color for the top of the box. And adding more of reds here. Let's put it here. Look, be nice and bright. Sometimes we just need this bright part for our sketches to make it look more vivid and live. And sometimes we need to add a bit of splash to it to let the colors mix natural way, not to create too much of mud. I'm using a bit of ultramarine. So here we go. We're gonna need some of this reds on the top of this box here. And we're gonna need a little bit of yellow ochre on the bottom. Use this color here as well, and some of a bit lighter and a bit more pinkish reds, maybe with some of our blues. So let's look more dull here. Pretty much the same color. It looks quite similar. Here's one. Now we're moving to our boxes, and they're gonna be more like burnt umber color with some of purples. And it's gonna be here. Like all through it, and later we're gonna mix some of our purples inside, like this one, and maybe some blue colors as well. Here, and darker here, darks here as well, and some darks here. Now I'm using it here too. And after it dries, we can add more other colors. Now I'm just adding a little bit of ultramarine here as well for the to give it a more lively effect. Okay. And we're gonna add shadows later. We're erasing some color here, erasing some color here. Just lifting up and Now we are moving to our next part. It's gonna be a bit of greens with lots of blues. It's Hookah deep green and Prussian blue. And we use it here. We're gonna add some nice yellowish pinks in this spot. To make it lighter, and even if it's mixed together, it doesn't matter. Add a little bit of grays here. Here as well. Some of nice purples. More of ultramarine. More of Quinacridone rose. I'm mixing it for this part. Okay. We're gonna have more of this pinkish colors in some parts. Some of them gonna be cooler reds. Okay, I'm gonna add more of permanent red to make it look brighter. Now we have these pinks here. And some greenish blues. Just some strips. I'm gonna have nice yellow color here. With some of pinks and reds. Now we're gonna use pretty much the same greenish color with grays for the bottom part of this structure, because it's much more darker here. So it's gonna be more gray. And some of purple grays for this piece. Adding just a little bit of yellows. Okay. We're gonna have a bright burnt sienna for this part. Maybe with some of reds. Yeah, and maybe with some of blue colors here. Now we're gonna come back to our shadows, like with ultramarine and sepia on the upper part, and we're gonna make them once again, maybe adding a little bit of quinacridone rose one more time. Ultramarine is gonna be like grayish purples, dark enough to make this big shadow look vivid. Okay, come over here as well. And the shadow is gonna be all of this, but like making the same thing here, but not that strict. Maybe not some of sepia. Just suggesting leaving some spots a bit brighter. Some purples here. Okay. And now for the darker part, maybe a little bit more of sepia, a little bit more of this and this. One more time, I'm going through it. I don't want to make it look solid, so I'm just adding the shadows here and there, and in some parts it's gonna be more dark, in some parts it's gonna be more bright, more blues. We're just suggesting the depths inside of the room. It's always hard not to overwork it. Make it more of this dark mix, sepia, ochre, and ultramarine, and I'm adding it to the darkest parts of the room. Here as well. We are able to tell that there's something inside the room, there's some space here. We just don't see it properly. And it also has some shadow parts and light parts, but in a more darker way. So we just add some shadows in the necessary parts, and it's like comes to us with more lively image. I'm trying not to make all of the shadows the same color. I'm trying to add some more of other colors to it. Now we can make this part. I'm gonna use more of burnt sienna and still the same nice purples, but with adding some warm colors in this part. And it's gonna be way more darker in the bottom. Like here. Now we can proceed with the fruits on the top. I'm mixing this burnt sienna and the leftovers of whatever it was with permanent red, adding a little bit more of water and going straight here. I'm using light colors now, and when we're gonna add shadow parts, we're gonna use a darker one, and maybe after the work is finished we can add a little bit of white highlights as well. Oh, and I see that here I kind of missed this part. I left now color on it. Then I'm adding the shadows as well under the fruits. Using some purpose here for the same purpose. Just make it look more three-dimensional. In addition to the color. Maybe a bit too much shadows, but it's okay, we're gonna work it on later. Now we have this lantern. Maybe it should be a bit brighter red. I want to be with some yellow part and a bit of purple, oh, not purple, pink as well, with the quinacridone rose. Exactly. Now I'm moving next to this, and I'm gonna use a bit of cobalt blue for some of them, and a bit of yellows. We have this pattern of blue, yellow, blue, yellow. Okay, now with the yellows I'm using the lemon yellow. And like every part of this we make the first layer, and then afterwards we can add some of the shadows as well. Next, with our nice cloud, I'm using a mix of sap green with a little bit of lemon yellow and some nice burnt sienna. Yeah, let it mix together, it's okay. Here on the top, and even here, and even on this part too. We're gonna add a little bit of red here. Later, blending in. Now we're gonna need to add some colors to our bottles. The bottles that we have here, they actually might not have much of color because they're in the darker part, but I want to add a little bit of yellows to this grayish mix, just to suggest a bit more visible. Give them some color dust to it. Now ultramarine with sepia, more of ultramarine. And I'm just gonna add a few lines to this small chair and suggest it has a structure too. And even more darker. And shadows here. More shadows here. Even like that. A bit darker here. A bit darker here, and a bit darker in the upper part. Okay, and we have the same structure here. Just all the shadows we need to make a little bit more visible. I'm making some splash with the same dark color. It will give this inner parts a bit of texture. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue shadows here on the bottles. on the shadow part here, and we have the second row. It's not that visible, so I'm adding a little bit of this grace color to it, and it should be a bit darker on the bottom, like this. Then we have this nice grace and a bit of browns here in the shadow part of this box. And here as well, we're gonna make it dark. We're gonna add some lines suggesting the shadow and the inner space of these boxes. More dark, maybe, and some dots here, here, and some of them here. We have in this part with the shadow, this part as well. And I want to make it a little bit brighter, so adding some of burnt sienna, and in the most concentrated shadow part I'm just gonna make it with this grace, like almost through all of it. I'm moving next to cashpots. It's this mix of pinks and some other colors with burnt sienna for one. It's too much water. And some of nice blues for another. It's ultramarine. I'm gonna add a bit of ochre green to it. I'm having some of this pen wok maybe, and I'm mixing the burnt sienna with some grayish colors. I'm gonna add some of purples afterwards. I'm gonna add a bit of this mix to it. Okay, it's gonna be like this. I'm gonna lower one more time this part with bright reds. Okay. And this one as well. Okay. Now we need to make something with our glass. I don't know how it's called in English. I'm adding random colors just to make it look brighter. Have some greens. Gonna have some blues. More of reds. One more time, some yellows. Here. Some blues on the top of these yellows. Mix into some color. Some of reds. Maybe even just suggesting that it's white. With a bit of blue color here. This one I'm gonna make it. I'm not so sure what color would be better. Maybe orange. Like bright and nice orange bottom here. Okay, we have some shadow parts right there. And we're gonna mix it with a cooler color Hookah green with ultramarine, and I'm adding it here and here. I'm adding some bright colors for the cups. Not for all of them, just a few. Just suggested. Okay. And some shadows in this part as well. Some lines here. Okay. More of yellow ochre. And we have it in this bottom part. And more of reds with the upper part. Add some brighter colors. And a bit of grays on it. We have pretty much the same colors for the wall. And here. And a bit lighter color for this chair here. Now we're gonna try to make some more boxes. Using these grays. Yeah. Burnt umber, burnt sienna here. More of blue. Nice of water. It's too much water, it doesn't look well. Then we have some nice yellow ochre with maybe a little yellow for this one. Adding more of burnt sienna. Yellow colors. Need to be careful with them. Okay. I'm gonna add some shadows to the spots. And we're gonna try to add more of greens. I forgot about this one. Okay, blue. This one red. And other one is because I'm gonna add a little bit more of texture here because it looks a bit flat. Okay. More of darks, more of blues. And the shadow part. Upper part didn't dry it. we're gonna need more shadows for our fruits and more brighter colors to make them a little bit more visible. So I'm starting with the shadows. Starting here. Okay. And here as well. Just suggesting the shadow shape of the fruits. A bit darker here. One more time. Okay, we're gonna need some cooler reds for the shadow parts of the fruits. After it dries, we're gonna add a little bit more of other colors to it. I have the shadows from these papers and here as well. Just make it a bit darker. Yeah, here. Okay, I'm gonna use some grays and a bit of brown sienna. This one. I'm gonna use some nice greens with a sap green. We're gonna need some brighter colors for these flowers. So I'm suggesting some yellow flowers, maybe some blue flowers here, and some greenish leaves, more of sap green. This greens here, just all straight with the sap green. I'm gonna make the pot with a burnt sienna. Some darks here. Don't want to leave too much of white space. We have the shadows under this chair, so it's gonna be a bit darker. We have a little bit of brighter colors here. Okay, and now some other greens. Oh, a bit too bright. More 40. Maybe here and here, and maybe we add some colors for the flowers. It's maybe not. We just need to wait till it dries. Add a bit of cooler colors. I'm using some of Foreground deep green, a bit of Prussian blue, and with this darker colors we're gonna add all of this nice suggestion of the depths, maybe a bit more, a bit too much of water. To wait until it's more dry. these greens. Okay. I'm gonna add a bit of more shadow to this pot. This mix of ultramarine and sepia and cream colors, and a bit more shadows here and here, even here. Waiting to let it dry. I'm using a bit more of reds, and I'm just suggesting that there are some maybe flowers, maybe some fruits on this one. I'm gonna add more of yellows here and some yellows here, or maybe even some darker colors here. Okay, and we need more shadows on this part and this part on the here. We're almost finished. After it dries, we're gonna add a little bit more of dark shadows to the plants. Okay. Adding some more shadows here on the bottom. Here. A little bit of here. Here. And I'm gonna make our fruits a little bit brighter with these bright colors. I'm using more of Glycol rose and permanent red, and just suggesting that it has this lighter parts and darker parts, which we've already done mostly. Like this, just a few dots to make it look much more three-dimensional. Okay. Nice. Maybe a little bit more of grays for this one. Okay. I'm adding reds here. I'm adding some blues here. Okay. And I'm making sap green mix with a Prussian blue for the colder greenish and kind of deep green color. Just suggesting them in some parts of the plant. Okay, like this. And here and here. And then I'm gonna write a name for it, so I'm using the same mix of sepia and lots of ultramarine. And I'm gonna write its name on the top here. I hope I won't smash this plant's greens. Now I'm gonna need my rigger brush with titanium white, this one, for some highlights with the white color. And some of them here, the top of the fruits, lantern, as well. A little bit here on this bush. Some of them here. Just suggesting some kind of shape here. Some writings. A bit of highlight here. Here as well. It's still wet. And add some whites to these brushes. This part. This in here. Just a little bit in some spaces. I don't want to make it too much of it. Just suggesting some writings here. Yeah, I'm thinking of it. And add a little bit of white here. On the top. Some of white lines here. Some of writings here. Suggesting it was something on it. We're not so sure about it. Okay. What's this? It's gonna work like this already. Just a little bit in some places, just small dots. Here. Bit of here. Okay. Now we are done. Thank you all for sketching with me today, and I will be really happy if you write a comment and tell about your own sketching story. And I'm gonna finish now and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.